Hey guys, Zack here, and welcome back to another action figure review, and today we'll be taking a look at the Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous Attack Pack Bumpy. Now, I didn't expect to like Bumpy as much as I did. I thought she was going to be like Baby Yoda, where they were just going to like push her in the marketing and just have her just overexposed, but they didn't do that with her. And to be completely honest with you, I really hate Baby Yoda. Not as a concept. I think the concept is fine, but like he's basically turned into a minion where no matter where you go, you can't like not see him. So Baby Yoda, I'm sorry, I really don't like, but Bumpy here, like again, they're not like pushing her in the marketing. I mean, she's a little there, but you know, she's not like overexposed like Baby Yoda is. That and like, you know, she didn't really do a whole lot in this show, but like, she's cool. I like Bumpy. She's not my favorite, you know, dinosaur character within the franchise, but, you know, Bumpy, she's still cool, and I like her a lot. So, yeah. Anyway, before we take a look at Bumpy herself, we'll take a quick look at some accessories, because the accessories she comes with is actually pretty cool. First of all, we got this little sticker sheet. Now, what's weird with mine is that it didn't really come with stickers, it just came like this, so I think that's kind of weird, to be completely honest. Granted, I'm going to be 20 soon, so something like this isn't really a big deal to me, but again, it's a little weird, but I digress. Anyway, we got this card here with Darius, Brooklyn, sorry, and I think Kenji, I think that's his name, I forgot. And of course we have Toro, the Carnotaurus here, Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous. And on the back we just have a little maze here, Universal, Amblin, Mattel, and the little Netflix logo right there. And on the inside we got this little maze, which is cool, which I like a lot. You know, like I said, I'm going to be 20, so something like this isn't really, like, a big deal to me, but for a kid, like, you know, this is, you know, something cool. It's a lot better than, like, the cards we got with the Dino Rivals line, because those are pretty basic. This is, like, a lot more, like, you know, more like, what's the word I'm trying to use? I guess just more interactive. So, yeah, I like this a lot. We have a little maze, and of course all the stickers laid out. Oh, and, yeah, so that's enough of that. So, yeah. Anyway, now for Bumpy herself. And first, we'll take a look at the painting. And the painting on Bumpy is not too bad. Not perfect, mind you, but not bad. So, of course, most of the body here is this kind of like yellowish, like almost tannish color, which looks nice. Something I find a little weird. The blue on her head looks it's a lot brighter than the blue on her back, but not the end of the world, and same with the blue on the side of her legs here. And of course, all the little osteoderms are painted white. Actually, they're not painted, they're like separate pieces, and they're made of rubber too, so I do like that. Very similar to the Minmi, the Attack Pack Minmi we reviewed a while back, but yeah. Anyway, her horns here, they are painted a grayish color, and her beak here is also painted gray. And for her eyes, we have some brown with gray pupils. Although mine right here is a little misplaced, but it looks a little weird looking at it head on, but it's not the end of the world. Of course, underneath we have the scan code and the Jurassic World logo. And that's pretty much it for the painting on this figure. And the painting on this figure isn't too bad. It's not perfect, it's pretty average for a Mattel like Attack Pack figure, but again, it's not terrible. I do like the painting here, so the painting on this figure, I'd say gets a pass. Now we'll take a look at the articulation, and the articulation, again, for an Attack Pack figure, is actually not too terrible. So, of course, the head here is on a swivel, but she can look up and down as well. Not by much, but there's still some movement there. Her forelimbs can move forwards about this much, and her hind limbs, can move backwards that much. And we do have some motion in the tail. And that's pretty much it for the articulation. It's nothing crazy, but again, for an Attack Pack figure, this is actually not terrible whatsoever. I do like this a lot, so the articulation on this figure gets a pass. Now we'll take a look at the sculpt, and the sculpting on this figure is pretty spot on to what we see in the actual show. This is something I never noticed, but like the asymmetry in her face here, I never noticed that, but then like they brought that up in the show, so I just kind of figured, oh, that's, you know, that's cool. But yeah, very minor, but still I like how they sort of kept that. Actually, Bumpy looks like a very cartoonish version of the Ankylosaurus from Jurassic Park 3, and not so much the ones from Jurassic World. And to be completely honest, I kind of like how the Ankylosaurs look in Jurassic Park 3 a lot more than how they look in Jurassic World, but that's just me. And, yeah, just very cartoonish, very cute, just very, accurate, and yeah, overall, the sculpting on this figure is very nice. So the sculpting gets a pass. Now we'll take a look at the detailing, and the detailing on this figure is also pretty good. Of course, this is going to be more cartoonish, so there's not going to be a whole lot of detail, but there's still a pretty decent amount. Like on the face here, all the little bits of scaling and the little osteoderms, they're sculpted very nicely. And even the horns here, they look very nice, as well as the beak here. A lot of nice detailing there. Everything here just very nicely defined. Of course, on the side of the body here, we have the scales and more creases in the body, which again look great. The toes are detailed very nicely as well. Her back here is detailed very nicely. All the little osteoderms or scutes or whatever you want to call them, they are detailed very nicely. And going to the tail here, we can see that the detailing, again, does look very nice. And that's pretty much it for the detailing on this figure. And the detailing on this figure, for what it is, it's pretty good. Again, Bumpy is more of a cartoonish design, so there's not going to be a whole lot of detailing, but the detailing that's here is still pretty good, so I do like that a lot. So the detailing on this figure, I'd say gets a pass. So at the end of the day, should you get this? Honestly, yeah, it's, nothing crazy, but if you like Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous and you want, at work, if you want something to just, sit on your desk or whatever, this is not a bad figure at all, just a little something to look at. So, yeah, this figure isn't terrible. If you want it, it's about $8, which, not a bad price, to be honest. It is, a little small, though it is, it's, it's weird, it's a smaller figure, but it's still a lot bigger than I thought it'd be, which is kind of weird, but I digress. Anyway, this figure is still pretty good for what it is. Not the best thing ever, but it's still very good. So, yeah. Anyway, if you want to know how big she is, here she is with the Attack Pack Minmi. Here she is with the Sauropelta that we reviewed during the summer. And lastly, here she is with the Ankylosaurus from Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. And lastly, of course, here she is next to Dr. Billy Grant. And these two don't scale well at all, to be completely honest. Bumpy on the show, she was a lot smaller than, I'd say she was about there. This is huge. And granted, I know this is a Jurassic Park 3 human figure, but the human figures from Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, they're the same size as him, so Bumpy here is just huge. And another thing to keep in mind, this is a grown man. And then, Darius and everyone else, they're, probably, 12. I don't know how old they are, but they are still, a lot younger than Billy here. So, yeah, I think Bumpy is a little too big, but honestly, it's not the end of the world. There was, a 2-pack they released that came with, a Baryonyx, a Stegosaurus, a little, figure of Darius, and, a much smaller Bumpy figure. That looks like it scales much better with Billy here, but yeah, this figure is just way too big. But honestly, not the end of the world. Of course, here she is with some hand sanitizer. So, yeah. Anyway, that is it for today. Have a great rest of your week, and I will see you in the next video. Peace, Zack out.